Good morning, Ala. How are you?
Hey, good morning. Good morning, Dharmesh. How's everything? Nice to meet you again.
Absolutely fine. Super good. Crazy, good weather. It's beautiful. It's sunny
Yeah,
outside, but
yeah.
it's raining as well. What about you? How are you?
That's amazing. We are back with another immigration session, and then yeah, summer in Toronto. That it's amazing. We wish to have more
Oh,
weather like
yes.
this for all year.
Oh, yes. We wish we could store it and then use it in December after Christmas and during Christmas, but that's
Yeah.
not possible. So, thank you everyone for joining today in the live session. This is one of the Instagram live sessions we're conducting on a Friday or a bi-weekly basis. Today, joining with me is Ala, who is an ICCRC licensed immigration consultant. So all the questions you have regarding the immigration, which you are not able to ask to your advisors, representatives, feel free to put in the chat box. Alan and his team is here to assist with the process, to apply for the visa, to review the documentations, to assist you for the complete process. Okay. So thank you again joining for today, Alan.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me again to this webinar. I'm very happy to, assist the Niagara students. Just let me give you a brief overview that how we are going to help Niagara students. So students who receive the letter of acceptance or pay the deposit of Niagara College, they will receive a free immigration service from Worldgate Immigration. Worldgate Immigration is part of Avero Immigration Services, which we will provide free immigration services. So we have a platform, world-gates.ca, which I'm going to write it in the chat box over here. So students can easily register themselves, upload their deposit receipt or letter of acceptance, and then they will have access to many trainings, such as how they can apply for their study permit application outside of Canada, how they can extend their study permit, and then co-op work permit. We have a full training, and then recently we add postgraduate work permit training over there. So many different training for refusals. What are the reasons of refusals? How you can overcome those refusals. So we are here to, assist 100% the Niagara students for Toronto campus.
Wonderful. So I
Yeah.
hope you might have now know about the services we provided. And it's always good to get a professional help, especially when you're applying for the visa, because that is really super, super vital information. Ala, you know what? I already see questions starting from the beginning of the session. So for everyone, please keep your questions. We will be more than happy to respond to you in the end of the session. So please put your down the questions in the comment section or save it yourself for the end of the session. Today, we'll be discussing about the key components of a study permit, a great, amazing news regarding the borders reopening by the federal government, about the study plan, about the quarantine requirements, and of course, the PGWP and proof of funds required. So, Ala, should we start the session now?
Sure, 100%. I'm full ready. Yes.
That's great. Okay, I
Okay.
see already questions from all the students. Please make sure you have your questions ready. We'll be responding you to in the end of the session. So the first question we see, Ala, I believe most of the students who are joining today would also have is, what are the key components of a study permit? Like, what documents do you really need? I know it's dependent on the country, but of course, if you can give a general idea so that they have a better plan.
Okay. So as you know, there are a couple of good news regarding SDS, and then me and you had a conversation yesterday, and then there is a chance, as you mentioned, that there are being more and more countries adding to this SDS category. SDS category is a great opportunities for the students. I think now is about 14 or 15 countries now, 5, 6 countries added recently, so they can, get a GIC account and they have to pay the first year tuition fee. So this is a very good news for the students applying for Niagara College. So they have to check that if they can apply through SDS. We highly recommend to apply through SDS. Going back to your question, what are the components? What are the key components of for having a successful study permit application? If you ask me this question 4 or 5 years ago, I would say that okay, if you're a young student, you have a higher IELTS score, and then you have a good financial, you will have a higher chance of getting approval. But the new trend is a bit different. So once we are going in depth of, for the students who apply for the study permit and then they got refused, we are applying for the case note officer or the ATIP, and we will find out that one of the most important document for the study permit application is the study plan. So the study plan is super important because recently there was one student, not for Niagara, for an university in BC, who got refused, and then we take the application to the Federal Court of Canada, and then the judge in the hearing was asking the lawyer that why did that the student did not provide information about the employment and then the educational background. So it's very important for you guys to write about your educational and career background and the reason that you want to apply for this specific program in Niagara College. So it's super important because everybody nowadays have an IELTS 6.5 or equivalent like Duolingo 120. It's not very difficult to get those scores, and everybody who wants to immigrate to Canada as a temporary resident, to get a temporary resident visa, they 100% have sufficient enough funds. So these are the basic requirements. So what makes you different, what makes you stands out among other candidates is the study plan. Just a few days ago, I just applied for the ATIP and we received the ATIP, the case officer note, and then in the officer note, the immigration officer, the immigration officer was mentioning that the student paid the minimum funds, minimum deposit to the college. So the college, like Niagara College, is asking you to pay a deposit, $5,000, $7,000, or 50% of the tuition payment. But this is the minimum requirement from the college. Of course, by paying this amount, you will receive the letter of acceptance. But it's highly recommended to pay the full year tuition fee, even if you can pay this 2-year tuition fee. I know it's a bit weird, but once you pay the first year tuition fee to the college, the immigration officer will realize that you already have the money. This is the reason that you already paid the money to the college. You did not, borrow this amount from your friends or family member just to deposit in your account. So that shows that you're a genuine and bona fide student. And also you will get a payment receipt from Niagara College, and this will increase the chance of the study permit. And I personally think this is the reason, and Dharmesh, you bring this idea up yesterday. This is the reason that IRCC is giving this STS category to other nationalities as well, because it's really important to pay the first year tuition fee. And then the second thing which is very important is the study plan. So the study plan and the financial are really important for, I think, for every and each country that the students are applying.
Yeah.
And then one more thing that maybe it is very interesting for your student, Dharmesh, is that 2 weeks ago, I got a note from students who were applying for a college in Vancouver, and the students who had a bachelor degree in Denmark. So he studied 4 years in Denmark, and then a very good level of English, very good level of finances, and then he applied for a college in Vancouver, and he got refused. So in the note, it was mentioning that first of all, the student's current country of residence is different. It's just he has a temporary temporary visa. So the students were applying from Denmark, but originally he was from Iran. So they were asking this question, that why the student is applying for Denmark, and the student visa is going to expire very soon. So so it's very important that if you're applying for a country, which this country is not country of origin or country of residence, you have to provide explanation that plus minimum 6 months of the validity of your visa. And then another thing that the immigration officer brought up was about the program that the student selected. The student selected a program which was exactly related to the bachelor program, but it was a bit doesn't make sense for the officer why the student is coming why the student is going back to, one level back from a bachelor degree to a study to a college. So this shows that it's very important that you explain this kind of you should provide this explanation on your study plan. Why you selecting for example, human resource management if you already have a bachelor degree in business? So there are many different reasons. We had a student who had 7 to 10 years of managerial experience, and then in Samsung, and he was applying for Niagara College. So the first question I asked him, okay, you have a very good salary, receiving good money in your home country, and then you already have a bachelor degree, you already have an MBA degree in your home country. So why are you coming for a 1-year program in Niagara College? He explained it to me very well. He said, I am in mid-30s. I have enough managerial experience, but I cannot grow more than this in my organization. So I don't want to go and study for a 2-year master program because it's lengthy, it has more costs, and I don't want to wait for 2 years. I just need to get a 1-year certificate in a public college in Toronto in business, and then once I graduate, come back to my home country. And then the reason that I'm applying, I'm again going to study a business program in Canada is because the program that I studied in my home country, it's very old-fashioned, and there is no connection between the education and the industry. Niagara College is a public college in Canada, and you have this opportunity to study in a Toronto campus, in the downtown Toronto campus. So there are many reasons that you can explain the reason you are coming to Niagara College to study for 1 or 2-year program.
Absolutely. I think these key compositions really matters when you apply for the visa. So for students who are listening, I hope you were able to make notes of it. But of course, Ala is here, his team is here to assist you for the process. But I think, Ala, I suppose the proof of funds is one of the vital information. And we always get asked by the students, like, proof of funds, how do I show them? How do I present them that I have sufficient funds? And could you tell us a minimum amount the student should pay? I would say should pay because that impacts a lot on the application, I suppose.
Yes. So the minimum fund, that's a really good question. The minimum fund, according to IRCC, is $10,000 in Ontario plus the first-year tuition fee. But as you mentioned, this is the minimum fund. This is the required, but you have to show more. But when I'm saying you have to show more, there should be a correlation. There should be a logical correlation between your personal circumstances and the finances that you're presenting to the bank. So if you're a simple employee at a local branch in your company, in your country, and then you are providing $100,000 in your account, it doesn't make sense, first of all. So there should be a relationship between your career background, your family situation, and the finances that you're providing. Second, the government of Canada, the immigration would not like to see a bulk amount in your account. So if you're showing, $70,000 in your personal bank account, just deposited 2 weeks ago, it's recommended that provide evidence that how did you get this money? Maybe you sell your property, maybe it was a gift from your parents, or maybe you sell your car. So try to provide the evidence that where this money comes from. And then it's also recommended that do not withdraw the money after submission, because I saw many cases that the embassy that is going to review your file might contact your banks and to ask if whether this statement is genuine or not. Or recently I saw that the visa offices are calling the employers as well, so they will confirm the information that you're submitting. So Dharmesh, nowadays getting the study permit is not easy. Is not compared to 5-6 years ago, but it is possible. But the students should take this process very seriously. It's not just submitting an application. Submitting an application, it will take, if you have the documents ready, it will take 10 to 15 minutes to submit the whole application. But you have to take this process seriously, and refusals are very normal nowadays. So if the students got refused for the first time, that's very normal for me. Then you have to fight back, you have to provide more explanation, more evidence, and then reapply again for your visa.
Absolutely. I think that matters a lot. And what you said, correlation, I think that will be a really impactful factor, because for students who are looking to apply for the program and have a different education background, and is not able to relate to what they're looking to now study at Niagara College, should be getting in touch with someone who can assist them with the process. So for selection of the program, you have the advisors, me and my colleagues. For the visa process, we have Alan and his team who will be able to assist you professionally for the process as well. And one more thing, Ala, because we are nowadays always seeing that if the student is applying, they need to provide a study plan. And you have already explained us the key composition of a study plan. I've seen some questions from the students, like, is it really important to submit a study plan? So if you can highlight us the significance of submitting a study plan on the application processing.
Yes, this, as I mentioned, so the only documents that makes you different from other candidates is the study plan. Okay, there are, in our platform, we have 3 successful study plans that the students apply, and it all is for a college. It was for Toronto School of Management College. The students submit the study plan and then they got approved. But you just can't get, and there are thousands of different study plans on internet, but you only can get an idea. The important factors that you have to mention in your study plan is the why. I think the most important thing is that why are you coming to Canada and selecting this program? So why you don't study the same program in your home country, okay? And then you might be a lawyer, and then you're coming to Niagara College and study human resource management. So you have to write explanation, so why this transition is happening. So for me, it's not impossible for a lawyer to get to Niagara College and study a certificate in business, or study 2-year business management. That is possible, but it's already up to you how you're going to explain this transition. And also your finances, you have to write about your finances. How are you going to financially support yourself, or do you have any financial support that they are going to help you with your finances over here? And also one other thing that Immigration Canada is reviewing on monthly and yearly basis is the climate economic situation of the country that the students are applying. So if you are applying for a country which economically they are not in a good situation, there is a question that why are you applying to come to Canada and pay all this money as international students to study in a public college in Canada? Then you have to write explanation. So you can write that, yes, my economical situation in my country is not perfect, but if I get a Canadian degree, it will help me to get a better opportunities in my home country or in the region.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that needs to be 1 or 2-page document, if I'm not wrong, Alan. The study plan?
A study plan, yes. This morning, I was reviewing one study plan for one student. It was 6 pages, right? Wow. Canada is the first destination, Dharmesh, right, for the international students, right? And then Government of Canada proved this to us, right? For the new policy, for international students or foreign workers, they said they have a cap that you do not need to have any work experience. You can apply for permanent residency. Last year, they let the students for a certain time to work full-time as essential workers. So they are supporting international students. So everybody wants to come to Canada. So just imagine thousands of applications are, submitting to IRCC, and then there is something that called as an AI system, artificial intelligence. Sometimes humans are not reviewing the application. This is my guess. So there is a computer that going to assess your application. So if we are lucky that a human visa officer is going to review our application, they do not spend more than 5 minutes on each application. So the study plan should be short, organized, and to the point, clear to the point. Don't write that Canada is a beautiful country. Canada, we love Canada. It's a multicultural. We all know this Canada is a good destination. Talk about yourself. Talk about what do you know about Niagara College, right? Do you select Niagara College because Dartmouth colleagues were very kind to you and was very responsive to you, or it was because that you search about Niagara College, you go to the website, you find about the instructor, and then you find about the program. So you have to do your own research, and it should be short, as you mentioned, right?
Absolutely. I think 6 pages would be a lot of documents to review. Like when the officer is reviewing 10 pages of documents, just for the study plan, I believe they would be more hesitant to go for all the pages rather than if they get a 1 or 2 pages in the brief part. So yeah, that's really good. So
in a brief overview, and then make a title of each paragraph. So make it easier to visa officer. So write educational background. So by looking at one shot, the visa officer say, okay, this is the educational background. Next paragraph will be career background. So one paragraph is enough for each for each topic that you're mentioning. And for me, it's not important if you have a master program. It's not like that you cannot apply for Niagara College. I saw students with a master degree, they come and are accepted for a college, and I saw students 18 years old, they got refused. It really depends on how you develop and organize these documents. And then we have a service in WorldGate that once you write the study plan, you can send it to us, and me or my colleagues, we will have a 30-minute Zoom meeting with you, and we are going to review your study plan. And then we will say our comments, right? There is nothing such as right or wrong. We will just comment on your study plan, and then you can improve it and make it better, and make sure that you send your study plan to someone who has a perfect, written English, and they can review the documents for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if I'm not wrong, they can write a study plan in both English and French, right, for the application?
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. That's another point that. So for example, the students are applying from Brazil. They are submitting the application in their native language, right? But sometimes the visa officer, they have backlog, right? So they will send all the documents to the other visa officers. So maybe they will send all the Brazilian students to Montreal, right? So the visa office in Montreal, they will review the documents. So according to the guidelines, all the documents should be in English or French.
Wonderful. So that gives a chance for students. Of course, if they're applying with the local languages, it's, I think, recommended to get it translated by the official translators so that the immigration and Alain's team can assist you to review it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now, I think the question we all have been waiting for, Ala, what is the new news about the borders reopening? Because I think Canada is, if I'm not wrong, the only country which has given such a really good flexibility. So if you can give us some information about the reopening borders plan of the federal government.
So international students can arrive to Canada, and if they have the certain vaccines, they do not even have to do the quarantine. And if they've been, if they have already had if they are not vaccinated, but they already get the COVID-19 in the last 13 or 60 days, they just have to provide the documents that they were positive and the negative result with them. So they will be exempted from the quarantine plan as well. So they shouldn't be in a hotel. They will just go for a 14 days quarantine. Yeah.
That's great. And I think if I'm not wrong, there is a plan for in September first week or second week, then they are planning to open more countries. I believe in August they're only opening for the US citizens and permanent residents. Yeah. But simultaneously, government will be giving more flexibility. So Ala, because now these flexibilities are already there in place, and going forward, I believe more vaccinations might get approved for students to travel as well. How do you think would be the upcoming days for the institutions?
For the institution, the way that they are welcoming the international students.
Yes, yes, because I see that they are planning to open in a blended format in the form of fall intake, and students are who have got the vaccinations, approved vaccinations done, and have the COVID readiness approved plan are able to explore the options of traveling. So, how do you see? Because it's been 1.5 years approximately. Then since then we got this flexibility. So, how do you feel about it?
So that is amazing. We are all excited, and then all the DLI's institutions are excited to have the international students back. And of course, they will follow the instruction, the guidelines by the government. But the schools are fully ready to accept international students for September. And Niagara students are very lucky because I've been to the Toronto campus in downtown Toronto. It's an amazing location with lots of job opportunities, part-time jobs for the international students. So we are fully ready to accept the international students, traveling to Canada. Yeah.
Absolutely. And the last question would be any new regulations or rules would you like to share with the students or they should be aware of?
Yes, there are. It's not a new regulation, but it's just a reminder to the international students. So if you got the approval, if you received the visa, it's the TRV and then again the study permit for Niagara College, and then you do not show up on Niagara College, and then this is a bit dangerous because you get accepted, you got the visa and the study permit based on this DLI, and then if you're not willing to come to Niagara College, then you have to inform them, and then you have to keep your full-time student status. So according to the regulation, you can change your DLI once you're in Canada, but you cannot, just do not show up in a college and then, start working illegally, because CBSA officers, if they find out, they will, immediately deport you from the country. So it's very important that you comply with the guidelines on international students. Do not forget, you're coming to Canada as an international student. So you have to complete your program first, and then you will be eligible for a 3-year work permit. And then you work for 1 or 2 years, and then you will get the enough. Once you got the enough point, then you will apply for your permanent residency.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, Fuala.
Yeah.
Now
So
I see. Yeah, sorry.
there are a couple of questions if you want to ask.
Of course, of course. Yeah, I can see some of the students were asking. So for everyone, this is a really good time. Now you can put these questions in the comment sections for anything related to visa. So there's a question from Arshdeep. Which documents should we carry while we're traveling to Canada?
Sorry, which document?
Yes, which documents do they need when they travel to Canada? I believe it's asking more about the visa approval docs. Yes.
So yeah, so you need, first of all, once you got the passport request, you should send your passport to the embassy to have the stamp on, right? If you are not having the visitor visa, after you had the sticker on your visa, you will receive a document called POE, proof of enrollment. Port of entry. You should have this letter with you. Okay, and then that's a very good question. It reminds me of something. So make sure to travel to Canada 30 days before your start date. It's recommended to come to Canada 30 days before your start date. And also you have to have the okay to board from your country that you're flying. So you have to check with the airline that you get the okay to board before traveling, and the quarantine plan from Niagara College. And also on the border, they might ask you from the CBSA officer might ask you for your tuition payment. They might ask you to log into your student portal, and show me that you already registered for your courses for example, January intake or fall intake. So you have to prepare everything. Maybe you can print it out. You have to have the login with yourself, because CBSA officer has more power than the visa officer. So if they think that you're a genuine or bona fide student, they can return you back to your home country. So there are a couple of documents. First of all is your passport request letter. You should have it with you. Your POE, quarantine plan, you will get it from Niagara College. Your the COVID result, which it should be less than 72 hours, and also payment receipt from your college, and then your student portal at Niagara College. Have it ready, that because they might ask you that I want to see how many courses that you registered and when is your program starting. So it's recommended to come really 1 month before the program. Don't come 4 or 5 months before the program, because if you come here 4 months before the program, you cannot start working part-time, right? Because you can start working part-time as soon as you registered as a full-time student.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. So I hope that answered your question. Thank you for asking. I see another question from one of the students asking about, I believe the student has a 5.5 in one of the module and is hesitant to apply for the visa. What is your suggestion on that, Ala?
So yeah, this is a question that I was talking about in the beginning of live session. I cannot say only by having IELTS 5.5 you have not a strong profile, because the visa officer seeing your application as a package, your finances, your proof of English, your educational career background, the program you selected. So it's not really negative for me if you have IELTS 5.5, because you might be strong in other aspects of your application. So you can apply, but if you're applying for SDS countries, you cannot apply for SDS with IELTS 5.5. That's it. Dharmesh, can you add the world-gates.ca in the comment box, so the students, because it's a free immigration services to Niagara student, Toronto campus. So why not use it, right? Even if you have your own immigration consultant, you can get an idea. It's free training. You will learn. It's about 42 lessons on how to apply for your study permit application. What are the refusal based on immigration status? What are the refusal? If you receive a refusal, how you can improve your application? There are lots of information over there, and it's all updated. So
absolutely, I think that's really important, because for students who are looking to apply for the visa, Ala is a professional person, so he has the expertise in that particular area. So that helps you when you apply for the visa. And I'm 102% sure that Ala and his team are working with different countries, and every country has a different requirement, has a different process. So I think, Ala, you already told that you have a 30-minute Zoom call, which you explain them how the process actually works and what are the things they need to work on so that they can apply for the process, right?
yes, exactly, 100%, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. I see one of the students at the beginning. So the student was asking about the biometric. I believe the student is applying from a country where the biometric offices are currently closed and are not open, but have applied for the visa. So I believe the student is asking, what should they do now? Should they wait for the biometrics to open, or what can be the next step?
So it's recommended by our IRCC, if the biometric centers are closed in your country, do not travel for only the biometric, because I think you have 60 days validity. Your biometric has 60 days validity. So if you cannot travel if you cannot do the biometric within 60 days, submit a web form and inform them the biometrics are closed in my country, and then they will extend your biometric, or they give you instruction. So you have to do two things. First of all, you have to submit a web form, and also send an email to the embassy that is going to review your application. Example, if you're applying from Turkey, then you have to send an email to Canadian embassy in Turkey as well. Or if you're applying from Nigeria, Ghana is, processing the application. But web form is a centralized, center platform that you can select that which country are you from, which program are you applying, and then you write your explanation and submit it, and then they are usually fast. Within 1 or 2 weeks, they will reply to your request.
Absolutely. And it means the student doesn't need to be worrying about as long as they're informing to the immigration using the web form, right?
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely. So I think that's really good because if the biometric examinations or the biometric centers are closed due to the restrictions in the local community or in the country, if they inform the immigration, that gives them more opportunities. So for students, you have any queries like this, you can always reach Ala so that they can tell you if the process needs to be done and how it could be done in this particular scenario. I see one more question, Ala. So I believe the student is requesting if they have a different education background, and they're applying for a different program, how should they go about it? Yeah.
So this is the, I think, if we want to have a good conclusion of our today's live session, the thing that I was highlighting from beginning is the reason that you're selecting your program. The visa officer they are not career coaches, so they cannot judge that if this program really fits for your education or career background or not. So you have to make it clear for them. It doesn't matter if you have a diploma in IT and then you're applying for a program in business in Niagara College, because maybe you have a diploma in IT, but you are a very successful business person in your home country, and then you have many startup companies. So you have to, this is your job, this is your responsibility. In 2 or 3 paragraphs, write about the reasons that you are selecting this program in Canada with your own language, right? So I think this is the most important part of the study permit application, which is very serious.
Yes, I completely agree. Because I believe that will be really helpful for the immigration officer when they're reviewing the application, because the student is not able to, of course, talk to them physically. They'll be able to only provide the sufficient documents. So yes, thank you for the questions, guys. Actually, they was really informative. I actually personally myself found some questions which I was not aware of, and Ella responded, now I'm aware of, and I can always let the students know to get help from Ella and his team so that they can assist the process as well. So thank you so much, Ella. Actually, for any more questions regarding the admissions, please reach us to us at info@niagaracollegetoronto.ca.
Yeah, so Dharmesh, I really appreciate the, providing this live sessions, because it's informative for the students, and then they will understand, more about the process. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone. Stay tuned to the Instagram pages for the more information. Take care. Thank you, Ella. Take care.
Bye.
See you soon. Bye-bye.